One more time, let's graph this by finding the x and the y-intercepts. So the first one, I'm going to find my x-intercept first. That's typically what I do. I'm just going to write x in this case. My x-intercept, my y value is 0. If you want to do this the shortcut way, just cover the y. Make sure you don't cover that negative. Divide both sides by -4 and you will get that x is 1. That is the short and quick way of doing the x-intercept. If you want to show the work, the y value is 0. Notice in this case I did have them backwards. The terms were not written the right way, and that's fine, doesn't matter. That's gone. Divide both sides by -4, you get x is 1. So my x-intercept is 1, 0 right there. My y-intercept, I'm just going to write my y. For me that means y-intercept. My x value is 0, so the easy way you want to do this is cover up the entire x value including the sign in front of it, and so your y-intercept is just staring at you. It's -4. This is if you want to do it quickly. Now if you want to show the work, then to get the y-intercept, your x value is 0, so you'll plug in 0. You'll have y minus 4 times 0 equals -4, and you got to figure out the y. Well, the 0, this part disappears, so it's just y equals -4. So the y-intercept is 0, -4. That is right here. And now you're ready to draw your line. Our final problem says find the intercepts of y equals -2x plus 6. And there's something I want to make sure you understand here. You can do the problem as is, but I'm going to advise you to do something first. When you know you're being asked to find the intercepts, the x and y intercepts, it's much easier to do, as you've noticed in my past several examples, when the x and y value are on the same side. So my advice in this guy would be probably to move this x term over and make it look like this. I'll probably show you more work on this, but I would probably tell you, let's write the problem like this. I'll show you more in a little bit, just in case you weren't thinking of doing this. You don't have to do this. So bring the x term over and leave the y there. So it would be 2x plus y equals 6. Now I'm not going to show you all the steps here. I'm running out of room, but I'll just show you how you would do it now. The x-intercept, we know that the y value is 0, so the y value disappears. The x-intercept, divide both sides by 2 and it will be 3. Okay, if I want to know the y-intercept for this, it's also very simple because my x value is 0, so my x disappears because I plug in a 0 and that's why it disappears. So my y is very easy, it's 6. So if I'm ready to graph this, my x-intercept is 3, 0 right there. My y-intercept is 0, 6 right there, and here's my picture. Now if you didn't do this, that's fine. If you didn't do that, let me just show you how it would work. You got to be careful. If you left the equation as it was, so I tell you what, because I know I'm going to run out of space here, let me copy this. I'm going to scroll down, we'll come back to this. I'm going to go right here. If you left the equation as it was and you wanted to find the x-intercept, then you would have to plug in a 0 for y, which is fine, but I don't want you to think this. This is the number one mistake students make. They would cover up the y and they think, oh, let me divide by -2 on both sides and I'm going to get -3. See, but what you got to see is they're not on different sides here. It's not like the other ones where I covered one up and they were already separated, the variables here and the numbers here. If I cover up that y, cover it because it becomes a 0, then we don't have these on different sides. So what a student would have to do is not cover it up, instead substitute a 0 for y and then figure out the x-intercept. So if I want to solve for x, well, I got to move one of these terms to the other side. Let me move the 2x over and it becomes 2x equals 6. So I got to add 2x, add 2x. Once they're separated, then I can divide by 2 and I get x is 3, which is the same thing I got over here. X is 3. But in that case I did it because I put it in standard form first. It was easier like that. So you don't have to do this right here, but notice how much easier it was because I could play the cover game. I could just ignore the y because it's a 0, and then divide both sides and x would be by itself. Unlike over here where I couldn't, because in this case, even if I got rid of or covered up the y, I still had to make some changes to solve for x.